Simon Told Helen wins a half length. Zach Benelli second.
Welcome to Greyhound Gossip.
Peaky Blinders start cheering for Tommy Shelby wins the WA Sprint Championship final.
Featuring Peter O'Neill and Leah Ernest.
Mozza moves up to Mermaid Manelli. Fab's Gem 3 deep. Here comes Fab's Gem.
Hard Style Rico by 5 lengths to Simon Told Helen. Third Tommy Shelby.
This segment is dedicated to the discussion and promotion of greyhound racing.
Cindy's Oliver, Rockstar Patriot, Paul Stewart, back-to-back with Rockstar Patriot in the Galaxy.
Handsome Prince, a Boulder Clear, the former Tasmanian. Handsome Prince has won the $1 million chase.
Racing Electrified came out quickly, also showing speed on the outside. Solidified pushing up was Customanelli and Electrified. They go together. Hinto was on the outside of them. The 2 leaders bumped. Getting up on the fence was Lupini to Manelli to be nice and close. So Customanelli holds the lead in second place. Lupini Manelli Electrified with work to do around the outside. Then followed by Hinto. Father Manelli behind them. Solidified. Well back in the field was Jimmy's Decision as they swing though. Customanelli is in front up on the inside. Lupini Manelli coming quickly. Custard and Lupini. Custard Lupini. Lupini Manelli's beaten Custard Manelli. Third, I'd say, was Electrified, then followed by Fava Manelli.
And Lupini Manelli takes out the Sendy's Me Memorial on Saturday for 2023, called by the great man at Peter O'Neill. And we say a very good morning to you, Pete.
Good morning, Leigh. Good morning, everyone. Yes, the Sandy's My Mum, named after one of the greats of West Australian and Australian greyhound racing, and an upset win for the David Hobby trained Lupini Manelli. The question mark whether Electrified, the favourite, could get across from box number 5, and we saw through the run that he couldn't find the top, and the race changed complexion, and Lupini Manelli was able to get over the top of the kennelmate Custard Manelli. It was a good run still by Electrified back in third, 29.85, on what was a very good night of greyhound racing with some big wins there on Saturday night. Leia, including the much anticipated run of Barbecue Man. The time 30.03 got a little bit tight over the concluding stages. I think he'll get a lot fitter. There was a really touching moment when Granite Song won for new trainer Diane Carmody, her first ever runner at the, well, I don't want to have a guess at her age, but tender age. A little bit older than you and I, and her husband, of course, John, passed away earlier this year, and Diane had a tear in her eye once she saluted with Granite Song there, and I'm sure John would have been looking down from above. And we also saw Couch Surfer remain undefeated in 5 starts over the 600 metres for Chris Holson. Probably the run of the night was that of Ripon Grace, who came from a hopeless position over the 520 metres a little bit later on to defeat Kanyamia, and also putting Manelli in a driving finish. So it was a really good night there on Saturday night.
It was a very eventful night indeed there at Cannington, Pete, and we've got Wodonga coming up in 5 minutes. We're going to get straight into our first special guest, and we join Jason Lincoln here on Greyhound Gossip.
Now on Greyhound Gossip, we welcome the Greyhound guru, Jason Lincoln, from Sky Racing.
She's a pearl in full flight at the home turn. She led it by 6 on Coast Model. Richard Honor getting up on the inside. But this is greatness from a champion. She's a pearl wins the $10 million chase.
And a very good morning to you, Jason Lincoln. Good to have you back on the show.
Yeah, good morning, Leah. Pete, nice to be back with you. Hopefully 2023 started off well for you both.
Well, we've missed you on Greyhound Gossip, Jace, for the last few weeks. Are you feeling better?
Yeah, no dramas there, Leah. All good.
Wonderful. And we haven't had a chat to you for a little while, so congratulations, we have to say, on She's a Pearl, taking out the Group 1 Paws of Thunder 2 weeks back, and, of course, the Queen of the Coast on Saturday at Gosford.
Yeah, look, thanks. I mean, the Paws of Thunder win was outstanding, and probably one of the better wins. She had to be really brave getting over there from the pink, so that was outstanding. She won well on Saturday night. She was $1.35, so I can't give her too much credit for winning a race she was expected to win, but she did it in good style. Look, a Masters dog went quicker than her on the night, so as I said, I wouldn't be giving her top marks for the win, but be that as it may, she'll arrive in Melbourne next week in good form.
Well, we've got the Group 1 Temley coming up this week, and I've got the box draw and odds here with Tab Touch. In Box 1, Kelsey Bale, as well as Box 2, Wow She's Fast, both $4. Box 3, Amron Boy, $3.50. 4, She's a Pearl at $5.50. 5, McInerney, $51. 6, Mobile Legend, and 7, Fernando Mix, $13. 8, Baby JC at $17, and then you've got the reserve runners, Electrified and Titan Blazer. How do you think this race will pan out?
You've got your finger on the pulse here, haven't you? Just waiting for me to tip you this. I think she's the wrong price again, Leah. Yeah, look, absolutely. I think she's the wrong price again. I did have a chat to Joe this morning, but it's my belief in any case. That draw's virtually perfect for her. If we could have designed it, we almost would have designed it that way. To have your two main dangers directly underneath you, Amron Boy and Wow, she's fast. And Kelsey Bale's obviously got the red as well, and she'd be the other big hope in the race. Then a wide-running McInerney outside of her. By rights, she should cross the three dogs that are inside, and I think in doing so will make it pretty tight down there for them. And she shouldn't have any problem holding Baby JC on her outside. Finito Mick's been showing a bit of pace as well, but he's a mid-tracker. So the map is just A1 for her. She should lead. But look, she's led down there in 2 races before and been beaten. So that's not going to guarantee a victory by any stretch. I'm not suggesting she's immoral, but I think she'll lead and absolutely get a chance.
The Rookie Rebel, Jason, and good morning to you. The Rookie Rebel Punters Bandit was a huge run there at Gosford on the weekend and comes up at $11 after drawing box number 8, the Rookie Rebel. So the final French Martini's drawn 1 and Aston Velvet in 2. They're both at $4.20. Jarek Bale at $4.50. Eldorado $10. Amplified the WA Hope at $15. Awkwardly drawn. Black Sail at $13. Dookie Devil 5 and Punters Bandit, as I mentioned, at $11. First of all, that run the other night was a huge effort over the 600.
Okay, well, just while I'm answering this question, Leah, just go and take that $11 because that'll be an absolute myth. She'll be half that price. Look, let's go back to Saturday night. Outstanding win. She had no right to win, did she? You pause the race, running out of the straight the first time and ask someone who hasn't seen it who wins the race. She's not going to be one of the first 2 or 3 you put forward, that's for sure. And she's made herself the queen of Gosford now. She's won the Gosford Cup and then this race. And look, we may as well touch on it because you've just had the running of the Sandy's Me Mum at Cannington. And as you've just pointed out, we've got the Temley, the Rookie Rebel and the Zoom Top honouring 3 great champions coming up on Saturday night. We've got these new races in New South Wales. And look, I'm not trying to hammer anyone about this, but it's not the biggest problem facing the game, but we've got to do a better job of honouring our past champions, don't we? I mean, this race is called the 600. I think that's embarrassing. I mean, Hundy's not even a word. Most of the people I've spoken to have just come up with a blank face. The other race we designed here recently before that was the 7:15. I mean, again, not a lot of imagination's gone into that. The other races, we also have the Country Challenge or the Country Classic, which is the richest 600-metre race in the world. So there's 3 races where, and Pete, I think I just had a quick look down the feature race list here in New South Wales. Zoom Top, Black Top. They've got races named after them. They raced 100 years ago. Brother Fox, who raced 40 years ago, has got a race named after him, and Ultra Sense does, and she raced, 35 years ago. I
agree with you totally, Jason. Thanks, Leah. In comments in regards to that, surely we can come up with better names, and there's been so many stars over the years, and even in recent years, and we honour Miata, and she wasn't that long ago, and I'm sure we'll have a Tommy Shelby in the next couple of years as well. Yeah. And I think it's, I agree. Yeah, and I've no doubt you will have. And look, you've got, Paradise Street and a couple of other races. There's one name that how is there not a race anywhere in Australia called the Rapid Journey? There wasn't a dog's name that was just made to have a race named after him. It's Rapid Journey, isn't it? Not only is he one of the best dogs, he's got one of the best names. So, again, look, it's not the biggest problem in the world, but it's all about recognition for achievement. And you know yourself in your own workplace, Pete, you do a good job and you don't get a pat on the back, well, you're reluctant to want to get involved next time, aren't you? And it's a good chance for clubs, in the country regions of New South Wales or wherever you might be in Australia that you can recognise a greyhound that's actually come from your district. So I'm sure clubs will look at that going forward. So Punters Bandit, you're telling us to get on at $11. Who's the main danger?
I think the main danger, the main danger probably has to be Jarek Bale, because even though he's been sparingly raced of late, when Mark Delbridge does produce him, he's always in A1 nick. I think first up last prep he ran near enough to 29 flat at Sandown over the 500, so he'll be hard to beat. Aston Velvet was excellent Saturday night. But geez, I think, and look, I'm a fan of French Martini, but I think she's a massive risk off the red there. She's never been anywhere near her New South Wales self in Victoria in the past. I think she had the red in the, she had the red in the Top Gun, wasn't a factor. I think she'd probably get crossed there early, and if she does, she's probably in a bit of pain. Dookie Devil's another dog I've got a big opinion of, but yeah, look, at $11, you'll be taking well over the odds there.
All right, the Group 1 Zoom top for the stayers and Zarbel's come up at $17. Obviously, bookmakers weren't happy with Zarbel's last run, but Adam Smithson's a very astute trainer and I'm sure will turn him around. He's drawn in box 3, Corborn Magic in 1, $3, Moraine Susie 2 in 4, Zarbel 17. Ariane Bale, $8 in 4 quarter, 21. Stagger Out Lee, 12. Mapunga Ruby out in box 7, $5. Ritzer Piper, $10. I wouldn't think that the staying ranks in Australia are that strong at the moment. I think Zarbel's over the odds at $17.
I couldn't agree more, Pete. I'd say, again, he's likely to probably start half that price for mine. I think that's a silly price, but good. Get involved. $17, yeah. And look, I'm not anti-Corborn Magic by any stretch. We get to see plenty of him here, and he would be the undisputed best star in New South Wales at the moment. But from inside draws, he is a dog that likes a little bit of room early, and if he gets cramped up, it could be a tough night there for him. So, yeah, absolutely, Zarbel's the bet.
Now, we had the Gold Rush. Did you get to see the Gold Rush and also the Gold Bullion on, not the Gold Bullion, the Gold Cup there on Thursday night at Albion Park? I was at Albion Park, Pete, so thanks for paying attention to all the work that I did there on Thursday night, working hard, but I'm being a bit silly, obviously. Yeah, no, it was a really good night up there. It was look, I'm not going to say it was not a genuine Group 1 field, but it was a field this year mainly made up of locals. Not really sure what the reason for that was, but I can tell you it was bloody hot up there as it was in Perth over the weekend, Pete, you can attest to. But yeah, look, good performance in the end by a really good dog, and it was an emotional win there. Travis Ellison took over the training of Hello Mike after his dad Bill Ellison was diagnosed with dementia, and Trav sort of came on active and outlined his dad's health at the moment, and he's deteriorated pretty rapidly. So it was spoken of that that'd probably be the last time that he'd attend a race meeting, Bill. So it was nice that he was able to see the dog win. Yeah, certainly. Now, we had Joe on while you were away talking about the prospects of, one of the Punters HQ greyhounds coming across for the Sandgroper. And the current market with Tab Touch has 4 Eastern States chasers at the head of the market. Amron Boy, one of them's Throttle. Amron Boy, 5. Throttle at $5.50. Well, she's fast, $5.50. She's a Pearl at $7. Now, Joe mentioned that she's a Pearl, obviously going towards the Golden Easter Egg to try and win her second Golden Easter Egg. What are the chances of Eastern States greyhounds coming across, and when do you think the slot holders will start choosing their greyhounds and naming them?
Well, I'd have to look at the conditions. You could probably tell me what the deadline date is. I mean, what do they have to have them in? 7 days, 14 days out from the race?
Yeah, the week before, so prior to the final of the Golden Easter Egg. Yeah.
Look, I reckon it'll probably start to take shape after the Australian Cup, Pete. And I think a few more connections will probably come out then and say what their intentions are. Of the 3 dogs you read out, obviously Throttle's more than likely going to be there. And I would say Wow She's Fast will more than likely be there. The other 2 I would have big question marks about. I'd say Pearl's very unlikely. Look, this is a complete guess because it's not for me to say what the connections of Amron Boy will do. But in the past, and it showed there with the Brisbane Carnival, they were reluctant to send him up to Brisbane. They wanted to stay home and concentrate on the Australian Cup. So they may well go down that sort of line of thinking again with him. Again, I don't know. I won't speak for them. But the other 2 you would think will definitely be there. Wow, She's Fast. I mean, Kel's made an art form out of just picking the eyes out of these sort of invitation races for her, and why wouldn't you?
Good odds. Emma was scratched from Saturday night. All reports nothing serious, and she's not even in the market for the Sandgroper.
Well, that's up to you to get her in the market, Pete. But, look, she was only scratched on Friday night. The draw was just going to be brutal in that race. So we just thought it was, well, not we. Andy thought it was best to save her for another day, and she'll be aiming up at that really well-known 600-metre race, the Country Classic.
Yeah, I made the mistake of asking a bookmaker for Couchsurfer's price for the Perth Cup, and I obviously did it wrong because Couchsurfer came up at $9 when he should have been 30-1. But anyway,
there's a trick. I won't tell you what the trick is on air, but I'll tell you off air. If you want to get there's a way of doing it, Pete. That's not the way.
It's good to have you back. Good to have you back. How is your health at the moment for your many fans and friends over here in WA?
No, mate, no dramas at all, Pete. Plenty of people in.
It was a little bit of a scary time for you, though.
Oh, yeah, but, yeah, look, medication takes care of that, mate. I don't, it's not something I really want to get into. There's people in way worse situations than me. I'm going to be fine, don't worry.
Good to hear. And we're excited to see racing going ahead this weekend with the Australian Cup Carnival getting underway. 3 Group 1 races. Absolutely. I think you'll agree that the running of the Temlee, that's one of the best fields you'll see in Australian greyhound racing. Yeah, I agree. And look, it's not always the case that we get the best dogs at any one time into the race. Look, if you were to hand select it, look, the dogs had to nominate, obviously, for the race. So, it wasn't the intention of, and I'll just throw Throttle's name out there to run in that race. Now, had he nominated, maybe he would have been there. So, could you pick a stronger field? Not by much. The 3 best dogs in the country at the moment are in it, Pete. And you could make a case to say that the girl in the red there, Kelsey Bales, probably only second best to Amron Boy at the track that will be running the race at the Meadows. So, yeah, it's going to be a super field. It'll be a super night down there, as it always is. You did make the point last time I was on that you're going to try and get to the Phoenix this year, but the Meadows do a really good night. It's a great venue for big nights of racing.
We're looking forward to all the racing this year, Jace. There's plenty happening. Thank you very much for your time, as always, and it's great to have you back, and good luck in the Temlee. No
worries, guys. Hopefully we have a profitable weekend. I'm back, if I get an invite back next week. You're crowing about the big wins of Zara Bell, Punters Bandit, and, well, hopefully Pearl. Yes, well, fingers crossed for that, or else, Jace, we may have to get rid of your sting. You got to earn it. As I say to the boys facetiously all the time, you got to earn your nickname. Wonderful. Thank you very much, Jace. All right. Jason Lincoln there joining us on Greyhound Gossip this morning. It's good to have him back on the show, isn't it, Pete?
It certainly is good to have him back, and good to have an early start at Cannington tonight as well. Leia early finish, that means, so the first will get underway at 4:40. Good program down there this evening. Well done with Greyhound Gossip. We had to cut off. You've got some dividends to clear, but we'll get into race day and look forward to racing from WA on the 3 codes today.
Wonderful. Thank you, Pete. We'll be back with race day shortly.